Back again for more info on Resume 1.0. We've talked about your contact info. We've discussed the importance of that summary tailored to a job. We've talked about how critical it is that you get the right degree program on your education section. Now I want to talk about your experience, because experience is something most students are not going to have a lot of, which is why it's really critical the experience you do have is conveyed properly to a new potential employer. So what should you include? Well, first of all, dates, times, and locations, etc. Dates, locations, the title of the place you worked, those things should be used properly, listed exactly. Make sure when you include that information, you've got a city and a state. You've got your starting date and your ending date. And that conveys to the employer a couple of things. First of all, if it's 2 weeks or 3 months, it's going to say, didn't stay very long. If it's 3 months because it was a summer job, that's a whole different story. But it gives the employer info about what you've talked about. So what should you talk about? Well, I emphasize transferable skills. And what that means is it doesn't matter what job you had, you learned how to do something. So if you worked fast food, most people say, well, all I did was work fast food restaurant during the summer. No, you learned how to time manage, how to work in a fast-paced environment, how to communicate with your team members, how to provide a safe and sanitary facility, how to process payments. Those are action verbs, and that's what you want to do. When you're conveying to a potential employer, these are the skills I learned and these are the actions I did, that has an impact on a potential employer. When you say responsibilities included, you're not saying anything. We know that you had responsibilities and hopefully you did those and followed through because that was your job. We're more interested in what did you learn from this that's going to transfer into a new job. So if it's customer service, that's a transferable skill. Whether you're working fast food restaurant or whether you're a CEO of a company, there's customer service that's critical in that. You need to convey to a potential employer that you have those skills. What about teamwork? What about processing payments? What about communication? Those are all transferable skills. Doesn't matter where you work, what you do, those skills will be necessary. So what else should you include in this section? What did you learn? What did you learn? Let them know that you gained something from this experience. If it was a summertime job, if it was an internship, if it was a co-op that lasted a whole year, doesn't matter. What did you learn from that? Even if it wasn't necessarily related to your major, you still gained something from it. Your experience section must convey to a potential employer how you are suited for the job or the internship that you're applying to. And your experience section must be accurate. Always be accurate. Be precise. Be to the point. Give them those specific details. And focus on those action verbs. That's really important for a potential employer. One more thing we're going to talk about. Stay with me.